Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Trading. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're also going to talk a little bit about what all these candles represent. We're going to do more education. There's still not a lot of great charts in the market, but Bitcoin does have a potential opportunity coming up. We're going to talk about, but I think a lot of people misunderstand what we're looking at with charts. They think it's just a bunch of randomness, but I want to paint a bit of a better picture for you. Okay, so let's get to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin yesterday, actually today, I guess, with a nice rally move up. We have a 28,100 level here. Our old level was 27,289, which did get cut through. We talked about the trend lines and what they represent, and us holding support here is pretty good. I've actually adjusted this trend line. This trend line used to be here. And for those of you following the trend line series, the reason I adjusted this is because with the movement back up, we can include this as support. So trend lines are meant to hold support, and when they're on the top, they're meant to indicate resistance, right? So this is indicating support by the fact that we're respecting that support level and we're giving it that level and we're giving it to the trend line. Okay, so we're keeping our anchor point because that's solidified, but now we're moving it down like this. And it deserves it with this up thrust. So a really good up thrust. Let's go to the 2-hour time frame here. And we were really sideways into the weekend, really flat, really low volume, which is good. I mean, we typically get low volumes in the weekend. There's a weekend here, there's a weekend here, there's a weekend here, okay? And you can see we curled up, moved up. Now we have kind of a bit of a bull flag situation, which leads us right into our 28,100 alert level. Now this actually offers a chart pattern that's called a double bottom. You can see it really well here, so I'll stay on the 2-hour time frame. This isn't a large chart pattern. Really good chart patterns happen over the course of at least a couple of weeks. This one kind of fits criteria, but kind of not. So you start with an uptrend of some sort, and then you go into and find a low. Then you go back and find some kind of a high. Okay. After that, you make a lower low. And then what happens as you rally back forward, you come to that interim high, and that's your buy point. Notice our 28,100 is still valid for that level. There's a wick above it here at the 28,283, give or take, but I'm going to keep it where I have it here. And so this is a real traditional chart pattern that can lead to a good move up. So I'm hoping that we get that, and this 28,100 level. This is, in my opinion, one of the better patterns in the market at the moment. So you really can't have a measured move or anything off of a double bottom, but I'm going to keep our same move up here, which is to that 29,961. Now we haven't broken out yet, so I don't know where a good stop is at the moment, but I would probably argue that it would be down here underneath our current day's low, which would be about 4% if we do break out. So it's going to be what I call small ball. It's going to be, single percentage gains, more than likely on the chart there, but it's setting up and we are in a small uptrend. The only thing, one of the things that's concerning me though is our general volume decline. Our general volume decline here. Let me make it a little more obvious so you can see everything there. There you go. So we have a general volume decline happening here. And when you have a general volume decline, it doesn't lead to massive rallies. You need big volume to come in. Like here's kind of just use this scenario. Here's a volume decline, and we rallied here substantially on some substantial volume. And that's what I would like to see coming out of this trend line right there. If we get that, then game on, everybody, game on. But it's not here yet. We could get it coming out of here. If we get really good volume, it's going to be a really good day. I'm talking 7, 8, 9, 10% on BTC, and you're going to have to jump in the middle of that move if you want to get in on that first candle. So keep your ears perked, but overall, I can't say that it's looking 100% like it's going to do that, but that would be the scenario to get really bullish again. Okay, and this leads into kind of the second part of our video here is what are we looking at when we're looking at a chart? Okay, because I think a lot of people don't understand it. They think it's just random action, and obviously there's some randomness in there, but that's not really what it is. When you're looking at this chart, you're looking at the world's opinion about an asset, in this case, Bitcoin, at any given time. Okay, so if they want to sell it, who cares why they want to sell it, but they want to sell it. If they want to buy it, who cares why they want to buy it, but they want to buy it. And what we do with charts is try to ascertain, is there more buying pressure, is there more selling pressure? And what are those tipping points? Because there's always going to be like a root level of buyers and sellers, and they do this, that, sellers are higher, buyers are higher, sellers are higher, and it goes like this. And then eventually one of them gives up, drops down, the other one takes advantage of that and moves the price in their direction. And that's the battle that we're constantly watching on these charts. Okay? It's not much more complicated than that. It, in a nutshell, all you're looking is buying and selling pressure. So when we have this floor here on our rectangle at the 25,355, the reason it's there is because the people that are participating in this market think that's a good buying level for Bitcoin. And it's not my opinion. I don't have to, infer anything fancy. I'm just looking for this horizontal level, right? And then same with the top. Like you could argue there's a range here, but the point is that there's a range where people want to sell it up here at the 31.1 to the 31.8. And it's evidenced by what's happening on the chart. So the question, and I'm hoping you get this through this, through the series of videos that we do here, is where is that support? Where is that resistance? How do we get through it? And when is the market ready to go through it? And when it's ready to go through it is the hardest part. Finding the support and resistance is relatively straightforward, but there's different types of support and resistance. And the best thing you can do is keep an eye on the daily chart. That's going to give you the overall picture. It gives you so much information. Every bar is information. So if I just zoom out on my daily chart, I can go all the way back to May 2021, for crying out loud. That's a lot of data. And you can see most of this isn't pertinent right now. This is too high. This is too low. And so this is just right. So we can go all the way back as far as we need to and gather the data that we need for a current market situation. And so we're looking for, this support to hold, which it has, and we're looking for this resistance to break, which it has not, which keeps us stuck in a choppy garbage range. And all of this right here is just this. It's those buyers and sellers battling a little bit back and forth. Eventually, they'll come to an arrangement/agreement, not really an arrangement, but they'll come to an unspoken agreement that this is a valid level price for Bitcoin. And everyone's going to go, okay, well, if the sellers think 30 grand's good and I think 30 grand's good, I think it's going to go a lot higher than that. And then boom, it'll go up. And that's what we're looking at. You're looking at that with every downtrend, with each of these situations holds a slightly different story. But it's in the nutshell, that's what we're looking at. Who's buying, who's selling, where, how much, which is the volume, like how much are they buying and selling? Because if some guy's screaming from the rooftops, I'm buying Bitcoin right now, boom, throws down a gauntlet and buys 0.1 Bitcoin, that's not going to move the market very much. But if someone throws a gauntlet down and buys 50,000 BTC, that's going to move the market a little more. So those are the things you want to pay attention to: what they're doing, how much they're doing it, where they're doing it at, and who could be on the other side of that trade looking to slap them back down, because all that's really relevant. It's a lot to get in your head. So when I talk about support and resistance and distribution and prior resistance and stuff like that, that's what I'm referring to. It's an important concept to grasp. And all the traders that are really good have this baseline concept of that. So I want you to have that a little bit as well, as Bitcoin's rallying right up to our 28,100 kind of as we're speaking here. So there we go. All right, pick your poison, take your positions, and have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow on Altcoin Buzz Trading.